Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to talk about how to resist a pommel strike during drilling. So anybody who's done HEMA for a while and has experienced pommel strikes knows that being on the receiving end of it is one of the most unpleasant things you can experience whilst sparring with protection and synthetic weapons. It's a really horrible feeling. It's not hugely painful, but it really is just a shock to the system and it disorientates you, and it's just a generally just really unpleasant thing to experience. And I think a lot of people, they tend to just try to move out the way of it to try and soften the impact, and I really don't think that's the best way to go about it. I've got an example of this happening to someone now. So yeah, I don't think that that's the best thing to do on the receiving end of a pommel. And the reason for it is, yes, if you're trying to move out the way the pommel's coming in, you're going to be lowering the impact considerably. But it does have a downside. If you're already moving back and your body's got some momentum, that extra push from the pommel is just going to throw you even further off balance. It's going to make you jar your neck, and it's going to make you feel more disorientated, and it just adds to the unpleasantness of it. Now, if it was a proper fight and you're hit back like that, by the time you've recovered, the other person is going to have finished you off in some way. So no, I don't think that's the best way of dealing with it. What I advocate instead is pretty much confronting it straight on. But rather than letting yourself get hit in the face, tilt your head forward so you get hit right on the hardest part of the head, which is about there. And the reason this seems to work is that the force is then being applied directly straight down your neck, rather than twisting it or pushing it one side or the other. And it really does seem to work. The last clip was somebody being pommeled by somebody who was trying to pull their blow. The next clip is me getting pommeled by somebody who's trying to pommel me fairly hard. So yeah, in a drilling environment, dipping the head, letting it hit the top part of the head, I think is the best thing to do. But in a sparring situation, or if you somehow manage to get into a real sword fight, things might be a little bit different for a couple of reasons. First off, I can only really comment on doing it with one of these. I haven't had somebody pommel strike me when I haven't been wearing a helmet, so things might be different, although I can really hit myself quite hard with this pommel without hurting myself, provided I get it on the hard part of the skull. I certainly wouldn't want to try that on my face, so it might still work provided in a situation where you've got no armour. The only time I think it wouldn't work is if somebody had a metal pommel and they were strong enough to be able to break your skull in, and they're strong enough to be able to break your skull in a single blow. In a situation like that, yeah, you're probably best off trying to move out the way instead. In a sparring situation, when you are wearing protective gear and you are using synthetic weapons, it would depend on the rules, quite frankly. If the rules were that if somebody strikes you, they score a point and you have to stop the action, then yeah, you want to be trying to dodge out the way instead, even if it has a fairly low chance of actually working. If, however, you are fighting with rules where they have to be able to stagger you with a blow, then yeah, I think that you should just try and block the pommel with the top of your head and then deliver some sort of attack of your own, and I could see it working really well in that situation. So that's about all I've got to say at the moment. I guess the only other thing is, don't underestimate pommel strikes. They really are deadly if you manage to smack somebody anywhere other than the hardest part of the head. So thanks for watching, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.